Yo, what's up guys? We are back yet again with another ranking video, but something is a little different. There are probably a select few of you out there who may have noticed I didn't make my bed. I also know that there is a subsect of you that is very bothered by that. I definitely did it on purpose and not because I'm just too lazy to make it. I only make my bed if I'm about to record, but today I thought, nah, let's not do that. Either way, the last Pokemon tier list ranking video thing actually got a lot of positive comments. I wasn't sure that you guys really like the tier list videos. I got a good number of really positive comments saying that you want me to do more of the ranking videos. So I was like, okay, let's do more. So today we're gonna be ranking rivals. Okay, so as you can see, or maybe you can't see because my face cam is covering it up a little bit, we have a total of 17 rivals to rank, and I say 17 even though there's 19 on the thing because they put Trace and Tierno twice. Either way, I think I'm gonna stick to the Tierno and Trace that are at the back of the list, not the front, because the first ones are just body shots of them, and that feels weird. So I think what I want to do immediately is go ahead and grab How and just go ahead and put him right in the bottom tier. I'm not huge on How. I don't like Gen 7 as like a whole anyway. If you guys have been watching my channel a while, then you know, I don't really like Gen 7. It's not really that I don't like How because he's from Gen 7. I feel like part of why I don't like Gen 7 is because of How. It's just, he's too happy all the time. And his character really doesn't get much deeper than that. He has like this mini arc, if you want to call it, where he kind of realizes that maybe he should like take stuff kind of seriously sometimes, but then he just like immediately goes right back to being just like a woo, happy, yay, do you want to have a battle with me? Wally caught my eye, and I think I kind of want to put Wally fairly low, probably C tier. My big thing with Wally is that he doesn't really feel like a rival. He just kind of feels like another character in the Hoenn games. If I remember right, I think you only battle him twice, maybe 3 times, which is like a lot less than your actual rival in that game. He does have a little bit of character development, going from like a really shy, I think like terminally ill kid. I don't know if he was terminally ill, but like he was sick and he's all fucked up and shy because of it. And he does kind of grow as like a Pokemon trainer and is a little more confident by the end of the game. And that's pretty cool, but it would feel more significant if you had encountered him more throughout the game. All right, if we're gonna stick to Gen 3, we should probably drag Brendan and May somewhere. And I'm gonna drag both of them because they're essentially the same character, except one's a dude and one's a chick. Realistically, I would probably put them in B tier, and it's a really high B tier for me too. I don't know if it's A worthy, but they're pretty good. I think what I like most about Brendan and May is that you battle them as much as you would a rival in any other game, but they don't really like bother you. You know, they're not really tied into the conflict in the game at all when it comes to like the legendaries and things like that. They're just kind of there. They're doing their own thing. They're trying to fill their decks, but you encounter them a lot and they want to have friendly battles with you, and it's pretty nice. They come around as often as any other rival, but they don't stay in your face, and I like that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do Blue. And I would say Blue is at least an A tier. He's the rival, basically. Blue has had like a lot of character development over the course of the games, between, you know, being your rival in the first game and then becoming a gym leader. And I think is it just Gary that becomes a Pokemon professor in training, or is it also Blue? I don't particularly remember. No, because he goes to Alola, but he's only visiting Alola with Red, so like, you know, I don't know. Is he a professor? Leave a comment below. I don't particularly know all the details about later on in the timeline Blue. Overall, even in just the first game, he was a really good rival. You know, you encountered him right at the beginning of the game. He's a friendly asshole to you. He's not like your enemy by any stretch of the imagination. You know, you were friends growing up, so like, he just likes to pick on you. He likes to, you know, rub dirt in your face or whatever he would do. And it was really cool that he becomes the champion and then you just knock him down a peg and teach him that, like, you know, you don't win all the time, homie, and you teach him a little bit of humility. And I think that really helps him grow as a trainer later on in the series. I guess then we should probably address Blue's counterpart for Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, and that's a D tier. I didn't make too much of a fuss about it whenever it was announced that Trace was going to be replacing Blue in Let's Go. I think it was about up until How that I had no problems really with friendly rivals. I thought that, you know, whatever, like you're supposed to be like friends, but you know, you just are competing to see who can be better. You're not enemies by any means, really. Maybe I had a sour taste in my mouth because of How, but Trace, I couldn't get into him. I think the only thing that I like about Trace, and I might be, am I wrong? Is his name Trace? I'm pretty sure it's Trace. Either way, I think it's really cool that he like adopts the Cubone from the Lavender Tower, Pokemon Tower, sorry. I thought that was awesome and really cute and a really fun thing to slip in, but he does not hold a candle to Blue by any stretch of the imagination. We're gonna jump back to the friendly rival thing in a second, but to get to there, I kind of want to address Calum and Serena. Again, these are basically like the same character, and overall, I thought they were pretty weak as rivals. I'm going to just refer to them as Serena because that's just what I've known playing through X and Y. So my big problem with Serena is that I really don't feel like she, or I guess they, because it's two people, but whatever. I don't feel like they contribute enough to the big commotion with Team Flare and everything. I feel like they're just kind of along for the ride when it comes to that. You know, I guess for someone you're gonna battle as much as you do Serena, because you battle Serena so often, it's like every gym or so, like they find a reason to battle with you, and it's kind of ridiculous. So for as much as you battle Serena, you would figure that, you know, they would probably like contribute more to the overall story, but you know, whatever. And now, since we're talking about X and Y, we need to talk about Trevor, Shauna, Shauna, and Tierno. I actually do not mind these characters. There are a lot of people out there that really do not like Trevor, Shauna, and Tierno. I hear the excuse all the time that, oh, X and Y has too many rivals and they're all friendly, but I feel like they all kind of serve like a different purpose and are different in their personality enough that, you know, it's not too big of a deal. Plus, you don't really battle them too much. You do like a double battle against Tierno and Trevor, and Shauna's the starting fight, and then you battle them all again later on, like on a bridge, and I think you battle Tierno like one other time, but that's kind of it. You don't really battle them a whole lot. So they're not really rivals in like the sense of like a regular rival. Like Tierno wants to know more dance moves than you, I guess, and Trevor wants to fill up the Pokedex more or take more pictures or something, and Shauna's just there. So I would probably put all three of them in B tier, and if maybe we had learned more about them, that would have been cool. But all it really comes down to with them is Tierno is a fat guy who likes to dance, and Trevor has big hair and wants to take pictures, and Shauna probably ate a lot of candy and is really, really hyper. And that's it. I'm really tempted to move Shauna up to A tier just because there's that fireworks scene, and she's like, I've never watched fireworks with a boy before. And you're like, oh, I ship it, dude. Make out on the balcony. But no, I won't move her up. All right, let's go ahead and get Gen 7 nipped in the bud. I'm gonna put Gladion in C tier. Now, Gladion, again, is one of those characters that's pretty one-dimensional. He's just edgy and angry throughout the entirety of Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But at least he has a reason to be. I'd get pretty pissed off too if my mom stopped taking care of me because she wanted to go to space and fuck interdimensional jellyfish, you know? I'd be pretty pissed off too. And I'd rescue whatever experiment they were working on in the basement. I would do all of that. All right, let's go ahead and tackle Gen 4 and put Barry somewhere. I would probably put Barry in S tier. I really, really like Barry. Barry, I feel like, is the perfect balance between friendly rival and asshole you want to beat into the ground. Because he has the asshole you want to beat into the ground thing, because there's always like, I'm gonna be better than you, haha, I'm gonna fine you, oh, the fine thing, I'm gonna fine you quadrillion dollars. Fuck you, Barry, shut up. But then also at the same time, he's really endearing and fun and kind of cute, not like physically, but just like personality wise. He's got a really cute personality. I don't know, man, just striking that balance between the asshole you want to punch in the face and the rival friend friendly boy, you know? It's a good combo. All right, I want to go ahead and tackle Gen 5. I think I'm going to go backwards in terms of Gen 5 though, and start with Hugh, who I am going to probably drop down in D tier. Okay, let me preface this with, I have not finished Black 2, White 2. I got to like right to the point when you're about to take on QRM and the fusion happens. So I feel like I got enough of Hugh's character to kind of rank him, and maybe I'm missing something. Maybe something super significant happens with Hugh after you do the QRM thing. Who knows? But as it stands with what I know about Hugh, I really just am not huge on his character, like, at all. I feel like his narrative about not liking Team Plasma and wanting to get back his sister's purloin is like, if they get to it too fast, you literally walk out, your mom's like, do you want a Pokemon? And he's like, yeah. She's like, okay, go outside. And then you go outside and Hugh is right there and he's with his little sister and he's like, I hate Plasma. They took her Pokemon. And yeah, just like immediately, they just dump that right on you. They don't give you time to like really get to know his personality a little bit. You come to find out that his personality is, I don't know, man, I want to be really strong. When it finally comes time that you come across the purloin, spoilers by the way, when you finally come across it, it's been evolved into a Liepard, and Team Plasma has actually been taking care of it. And he's just like, well, it's not a purloin anymore, so I guess that part of my character is completely done. And then from there, it's just, oh, I want to be strong. That wasn't really an interesting character, if you ask me. And then Bianca and Sharon, I would probably put them in the same tier, that tier being A tier. I actually really like them as rivals for a lot of reasons. I'll start with Bianca because, I don't know, ladies first. So Black and White literally starts out in your bedroom with the both of them, and you're all getting your first Pokemon for the first time. You're all in your bedroom. Clearly, they do a really good job of painting with just like the setting alone that you three are really good friends. And then when you go to meet Professor Juniper and Bianca runs back to her house to talk to her dad or whatever, and you have to go in there and see that he's like yelling at her saying, no, you can't go on a Pokemon adventure. And then she goes anyway. She's like creating her own little story as you go. And then across your journey, she learns the ropes about being a Pokemon trainer and overcoming your fear and, you know, breaking out of your shell and following your heart and things like that when it comes to Pokemon adventuring. And it's so cool. And then there's Sharon, and he's so like smart and he thinks that he knows so much about Pokemon, and he comes to like realize that like he has a lot to learn about Pokemon in terms of like not just battling and knowing about Pokemon, but knowing what it takes to like actually be a trainer. And then of course you see them in Black 2, White 2, and Bianca, with her newfound knowledge of what it takes to become a Pokemon trainer, is now like tasked with giving new trainers their first Pokemon and their Pokedex, which is super cool. And then Sharon takes his big brain smarty things and goes and becomes a gym leader. It's so cool. They have such a great arc in Gen 5. Not to mention their battles were actually relatively challenging, especially Sharon. Sharon is a smart dude. Overall, I just think they're really awesome. And besides the body shots of Tierno and Trace, the last one we need to rank is Silver, and Silver goes immediately to S tier. I would venture to say that maybe I want to do a top 10 of rivals later on down the line, so I'm not going to say definitively, but I would venture to say that Silver might be my favorite rival. And that's not just because Pokemon Gold was my first game that I ever owned to myself. Of any character to go through a significant arc in the games, I think Silver goes through one of the more profound. You know, he starts out as this just angry thug who just so happens to be the son of Giovanni, you find out later on in the series. He's just this angsty little boy who just loves shoving people and stealing Pokemon. And he steals a Pokemon and vows that he's going to become like the strongest trainer ever, and that weak Pokemon are useless. And he's just such an asshole. He's not your friend at all. That's what separates him from everybody else, is that he doesn't start out as your friend or anything. He doesn't know you. He's just like, fuck you, kid, get out of my way, I'm gonna be the fucking best, and also fuck Team Rocket. And then as you go through the game and you battle him, he starts to find out very, very slowly, over the course of the entire first region in that game that loving your Pokemon is a pretty important thing too when it comes to being a Pokemon trainer. And by the last battle, you see that he's had a Golbat and he's able to make it evolve into a Crobat because he's finally learned to love his Pokemon. Not only that, he also, if you take Heart Gold, Soul Silver into account, and I guess the Gold and Silver too, you know, he takes down, or he doesn't take down Team Rocket, but you know, he does kind of maybe contribute a little bit. So the demise of Team Rocket happens on his watch, and I'm sure to him that's a pretty satisfying thing. Either way, Silver is a super awesome rival, and that's all the rivals, all ranked. But these are all just my opinions. What are yours? You can let me know in the comments below, or I will leave a link to this in the description and you can actually go do it yourself. These tier lists are a lot of fun to do, so if you guys really are enjoying them, let me know in the comments, and I'll search around, maybe see if there's more that I could do. Remember to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter and also on Twitch and also on Instagram. That is a lot that I just had to dump on you, but I'm sorry, I have to. Also, when you subscribe, you should ring the bell. That's apparently important. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!